So you got your new iPad, you're getting ready to go on the plane. I'm going to show you the advantages of getting the in-flight Wi-Fi service and what you should plan ahead for.
This episode brought to you by GoToMeeting.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. Welcome to iPad 365, the show where we keep your iPad in play. I normally say an app a day for iPad in play, but we're really not focusing on the app per se, although we'll talk about some applications that you can get. It's really about a service you can get with your iPad. And we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. First of all, I want to let you know iPad 365 is our Twitter handle, iPad 365, 365, and the number's 365, of course. And then, of course, iPad 365 show@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email, maybe make some suggestions or do a review yourself for a Friday episode. Now, you're getting your iPad, and I see this a lot. I see a lot of people with tablets, not just iPads, but also Kindle Fires, less and less laptops and small ultrabooks or netbooks or whatever going onto planes. And it's pretty cool, and it's pretty exciting to actually see people pull out their devices to watch their movies, to play their games, to get their work done. And I do that myself. In fact, I just went to Boise, Idaho, and I took a flight. I took a flight out there, and before I did, I downloaded the movie Real Steel. I rented it from the iTunes store, which you can do with certain movies, and watched it on the plane. Of course, Real Steel being the movie with Hugh Jackman about being a boxer who's now robotic boxing, and it was a very touching, feel-good movie because he bonds with his son that he first didn't want to begin with. So, the whole point is this. Before you go on a flight, you want to prepare, but you also have opportunities to watch and do things while you're on the flight using the Wi-Fi on most air flights. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, I want to let you know each airplane is going to be different. Each airline is going to be completely different. Some planes will have Wi-Fi on them, some won't. They'll offer Wi-Fi from as little as a 30-minute plane ride to a 4-hour plane ride or even more. Now, there's two different types of Wi-Fi you have to worry about. The first one is the airport Wi-Fi, and the second one, of course, is the airline Wi-Fi, because they're completely different. And it's kind of sad if you think about it, but the reality is, yeah, when you're in the airport, you have a certain Wi-Fi because the airport is paying for that Wi-Fi service. And then, of course, when you get in the airplane, whether it be Delta, American Airlines, United, Southwest, whatever, they'll have their own version of Wi-Fi, mostly through GoGo Inflight, because that seems to be the big one nowadays. While you're in the airport, you might see something like a Boingo hotspot. There's a lot of airports out there, like San Francisco, like Las Vegas, McCarran, that have Wi-Fi free. Sometimes you just have to enter in your email address. I know with San Francisco International Airport, I had to take a very short survey or watch a video. They gave me an option. I chose to take the survey, and I got online so I could get on my laptop and my iPad. I was there for a 2-hour wait. So it gave me the opportunity to actually get some work done, check some email. And that's what I like about it. Unfortunately, in Madison, Wisconsin, they use Boingo, which is also in Minnesota and many other airports as well. And that's a pay service. The cool thing about it is their rates are pretty low, $7.95 for the day. So if you know that you're stuck in an airport for about 4 hours, like I was in Minnesota, you can kind of weigh in, will that $7.95 be worth paying, or can I live without it like I had 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Of course, once again, like I said, other airports have some free. In fact, we're going to have a link in the show notes of a website that you can go to check to see which airports will have free Wi-Fi for you to connect up to. All right, so we talked about the airports. Let's talk about the in-flight Wi-Fi, because once again, this is completely different. You can't seem to buy a package that says, whatever airport I'm in, connect me up. Whatever airplane I'm in, connect me up. And speaking of airports, there are some airports that do have the ATT Wi-Fi. So if you have ATT service at home, you should be able to connect up on your computer to the ATT service. You just need to know your username and password, of course. Now let's get back into the plane here. Once again, you've got this service like GoGo Inflight, and they offer Wi-Fi to anything as long as the plane is Wi-Fi enabled. they'll offer you in-flight Wi-Fi. Now, like I said, I went from Minnesota back to Madison. It's about a 39-minute flight. I could actually connect up on GoGo Internet. It would cost me $1.95 to really do it. So for 30 minutes of maybe checking up on emails or checking up on news or finishing up a paper or something like that, it's going to be perfect. And it's not going to break the bank. Even a 4-hour flight is about $5 on GoGo Internet. So they're not breaking the bank like they did a few years ago, because some of the Wi-Fi in flight was very expensive. I mean, we're talking like $12 no matter how long you flew. So they've changed the prices on that, which I really like. Now, when we come back, what we're going to talk about is what you should expect from the Wi-Fi in flight. Of course, one of the things you could probably do is meet online with a program like GoToMeeting. You might not be able to use the HD faces. I don't know. It's all dependent on the Wi-Fi. We're going to talk about that in a minute on the second part here. But you can meet with people. You can share a desktop. You can do it on PC. You can do it on Mac. You can even do it on iPad. You can't start a meeting, but you can participate in a meeting on iPad. You can even pull out your Skype and call in on a number and participate that way if the internet connection is not that great where you are. You can meet with people online. You can get things done so you don't have to travel to them, so you don't have to waste time trying to get somewhere and do a meeting that, somebody might not be able to attend because they got a cold and they stayed at home that day. Well, just get them on GoToMeeting. Get them on the phone. At least they're listening to the conversation. That's the cool thing. It keeps things together and it keeps meetings in order so you don't have to reschedule. I remember years ago I had to reschedule tons of meetings because people, once again, were sick or had to go out to the client site or something like that. That's the beauty of GoToMeeting. Check it out yourself, 30-day free trial, put it into your business toolbox by going over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, enter in the code PODCAST. Podcast gets you 30 days of this great software by GoToMeeting. So meet smarter with GoToMeeting. Okay, so now you're on the plane and you decided that, okay, I'm going to do this in-flight Wi-Fi. I'm in economy and I've got nothing else to do, and maybe I'll connect up and, I don't know, watch some YouTubes or check some email or go to websites and catch up on my news or something like that. Well, here's what you should be expecting on the Wi-Fi. First of all, I connected up. Once again, I connected up while I was, and this time I was going to San Francisco on this connect up because it was about a 4-hour flight. So I paid $8 for the flight to San Francisco, and it was a 4-hour flight. And so I think I was in Detroit. I had to go back to go forward. So I decided to take it and figure out, because I had a lot of the work done, wanted to get up on Twitter, wanted to get up on Google Plus, and keep connecting with people and keep talking with people. Well, the first thing that you want to expect when you take your iPad onto a plane and use that Wi-Fi is it's not going to be as fast as your internet at home. In fact, the speeds that I were getting on the trip to San Francisco were anything underneath a meg. In some cases, I was doing dial-up speeds, 56K, as opposed to any 1 megabyte. So if you tried to download a YouTube video or anything like that, it was almost impossible. Every time I checked, it was thinking I was in California because I'm guessing that's where the base is. That's where all the internet is coming from. Now, as the plane got closer to California, my speeds seemed to get a little bit faster. But I'm not exactly sure if that has anything to play with it. It might also be the fact of how many people are actually connected to the Wi-Fi at that time, because you are sharing a wireless connection with everybody on the plane that decides to also connect up. So, when you're on the plane and you're getting ready to pull up maybe a Netflix or your Hulu or your YouTube, you might want to think twice because it doesn't work that well. YouTube, maybe. I got a couple YouTube videos to work, but Netflix just sat there and did absolutely nothing. I didn't even try Hulu. I went to the website, I logged in, and it took forever to basically get to the page. So if you decide that you want to watch some TV or you want to watch a movie or something like that, you might want to prepare for something like that and download a movie. Like, for instance, like I said, I rented a movie on iTunes and then I downloaded it before I got on a plane. That way I had a couple hours of entertainment to watch while I was in flight. And a lot of these flights are foregoing in-flight movies now. And sometimes they'll put on episodes from NBC, ABC, some of your favorite shows like The Office or Parks and Recreation or Happy Endings or anything like that. Maybe episodes you've already seen. So you want to get something on your iPad that you haven't seen. And that's understandable there. Now, with that said, like I said, you have under a meg for download. And don't even try to upload. Don't even think about uploading anything. Maybe emails or something like that when you send off an email. So what you do get on the in-flight Wi-Fi is you get to do your email. You get to send messages. You might even be able to write blog posts and stuff like that if you're a blogger. Send some pictures. Do simple stuff that's not going to break the proverbial bank. Video is pretty much out of the question. Unless you get some flight and you do a speed test on it, and then you find out this thing is speeding through it like a hot knife through butter, then you might be able to do some videos. But for the most part, if you want to use this as an entertainment, watching movies, listening to music, get it off your cloud players, get it onto the device itself, and then get on the plane. One more thing to think about, and that is the free Wi-Fi, especially at the GoGo Inflight. They offer certain areas for free, so you don't have to pay for anything. Like, for instance, all this month, if you wanted to do some shopping on Amazon, all you had to do is go to the page and then click on the link that said Amazon, and it would get you to do some, so you could do some shopping while you're in flight. They also have different news areas. You can read up on your entertainment news or your sports scores or anything like that. There's also a page that actually can show you where you are in flight, how long it's going to take, how high you're up in the air, so on and so forth. So there is a lot of good advantages to just connecting up to their Wi-Fi service and getting to that main page, because there are some web pages you'll be able to go to get some ideas, and of course book more flights through your airliner, so that'll be available there. Now, also watch out for some of the specials that they do, because when I went from Austin to Portland, and people were handing out free tickets that said all you had to do was put in your email address and you would get 30 minutes of free Wi-Fi, which was perfect for me, because then I sent off some emails and got some work done, and then I had enough time to take a nap on the rest of the flight to Portland. And we can still get work done. And the beautiful thing is that, we can, this is not the heaviest thing, so this goes through TSA without even having to take it out of the bag. So a lot of us are taking these instead of our laptops. Unfortunately, I do a lot more work than most people. I take a laptop and this. But in all reality, I used to take 2 laptops and other equipment. So that actually has reduced my bag as well. All right, that's the episode today for this Sunday Fun Day. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you planning a trip? Are you planning to actually use your iPad when you plan your trip? Let me know. iPad365 is the Twitter handle. You can email me at ipad365show@gmail.com. ipad365show@gmail.com. All right, I've still got a setup down in the basement from this big travel week. And then, of course, I'm going to be heading out to Houston, so maybe I'll just do all my episodes up here this week as we get ready for another week of travel. A shorter week, but still another week of travel. So let me know. Like I said, email me and contact me through iPad365 on Twitter. And then, of course, we'll see you in 24 when it will be another episode of iPad365. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and until then, geek out.
You should follow Graphite on Twitter at GraphiteINC.
It's kind of like the clap from the clapper thing from movies. 3, 2, 1.